Muy buenas tardes, bienvenidos a SOS Ambiente. Mi nombre soy el ingeniero Dani Pordominski y estamos acá con el señor Leo Guidros, el representante de la empresa Ample American Pollution de Estados Unidos. El señor Leo Guidros ha venido acá para poder darnos una pequeña charla y dar conocimiento a qué se debe su presencia acá. Mr. Leo, hello. Good afternoon. Thank you to be here. We want to know why you are here. Why has Ample established an office and operation in Latin America?
No, thank you for having me, Danny. It's, for many years, the oil stop division of Ample American Pollution Control Corporation, the oil stop division has sold products into Latin America and all over the world, over 40 countries. As we sold these products to our clients here in Latin America, they all expressed the same thing. We like to use your products, they're working very good, but what we really need is an environmental services company. We really need some help because we need to be ready to respond to oil spills, hazardous material, accidents, and things of that nature. So while we continue to sell our products into the country, in 2006 when Oil Stop became part of Ample, they immediately looked at the successes we had internationally and in Latin America particularly, and they said maybe we can take our services into Latin America. And of course, from my experience, I said that would be a very good idea because the customers are demanding it. And so that is the main reason why we came into Latin America and established offices here in South America, was because the customers have led us to believe, and we believe as well, that there is a need for the types of services that we can offer.
This is very interesting, but there are other companies here, national companies that need some services. What are the services provided by Ample to help others prepare for and respond to environmental emergencies?
Well, Ample is a full service environmental services company. We have a diverse range of services we can offer. Not only oil spill response, but the hazardous material response and cleanup. We have a very big division that cleans tanks and works to do environmental maintenance in refineries and chemical plants, or at tank terminals or in ports. We also have a division that will clean asbestos or mold or lead. We even have a division that deals with radioactive materials. So we can offer a wide range of services, and the customer can always be assured that if they have a problem that is related to environmental and they need some assistance, they can make one call and they can rely on Ample to bring the services that they need, and we will have the experts that they need, and we have the experience. And we've been doing this for over 15 years, so we have experience in all of these areas and have worked in many areas, not only in the United States but around the world.
Talking about experience, it looks like the company have a lot of experience. In your years of experience, what is your opinion in the biggest mistake made by others in relation to environmental accidents that happen in the world?
It's an easy answer. It's failing to prepare. You need to be prepared for an environmental accident. Even if you've never had an oil spill or never had a tanker truck roll over on the mountain, if you're handling the products, then there's a chance that it may happen. So you need to be prepared for that accident. And by being prepared, you have to have a plan. That plan has to be understood, and it has to be agreed upon by everyone from the top executive to the engineering level to the operations people to the everyday people that may be at risk. That plan can be simply to have a company such as Ampo, so that if they do have an environmental accident, they can call Ampo and they can deal with it. But it's very important to at least have that plan and be prepared and to know what's in that plan and how is it executed. Because even if they make that phone call to Ampo, the customer still needs to be involved. It is their responsibility to be involved. And it is also in their best interest to be involved. So we always include the customer, and we can work with the customer to help them make that plan. So being prepared or not being prepared is the biggest mistake that you can make.
Tell me something. There are many companies that have equipment and they have people. Every person has a challenge, like every company. As like we are talking, what do you think is the biggest challenge for Ampo related to environment services?
Well, over the years, we've probably had several challenges where we were called upon by a customer, and it may have been the first time we tried to do something. But I think the biggest challenge we have ever faced was in 2010 when we had the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. On the very first day, we were contacted by BP, and they asked us to be one of the 3 prime contractors. Now, being the prime contractor meant that we weren't only going to be responsible for the Ampo personnel and the Ampo equipment that we normally would do when we respond to a spill. Now, we had to be responsible for several other companies beneath us as subcontractors. So instead of having to monitor and coordinate the activities of 200 workers, we were now coordinating the activities for 15 companies and over 1,000 workers. And the fact that we were able to control operations over 5 states across the Gulf of Mexico, from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and we had operations in every one, whether they were directly Ampo or our subcontractors, was quite an accomplishment. And I think we performed very well. And one of the things we always did for BP, because they were in need for companies such as Ampo, was when they asked us to do something, we said, yes, we will do it. And almost 100% of the time, we accomplished what they asked us to do.
About the situation of the Gulf of Mexico, the technology that have Ampo or the products of oil stock are different from the other companies. What do you think about of the service?
There's a lot of situations where one company can do something much better than another. In Ampo's case, we are very well known for being able to do operations in the open water, out offshore, away from the shore. We're equally capable of dealing with an oil spill event or a hazmat event in a river or on the land, but we are very specialized in the offshore big water event. We can do that because we have special vessels that we own that are capable of going out into the open water. That is one thing that sets us apart from many other companies. OilStop is the manufacturing division of Ampo. We manufacture many products for pollution control, but mainly for oil spill response, such as the floating barriers, the oil spill containment rooms, liquid storage tanks. But OilStop has a big reputation around the world as being an innovator in developing products. We hold several patents on products. We are the vendor of choice of the United States Coast Guard. When they buy offshore oil spill containment boom, they want the OilStop boom. U.S. Navy is a regular customer of ours, and we have sold equipment to over 40 countries.
How would you describe the culture of environmental awareness in Latin America in relation to other parts of the world?
The culture of environmental awareness here in Latin America has improved tremendously, especially in the past 7 or 8 years. In the past, they were, as these countries were developing, sometimes perhaps the big corporations took advantage of situations. But now, not only are the big corporations becoming more environmentally aware and care about the areas where they're working, but the governments and the people in Latin America are also being concerned. They realize that if there is damage to their environment, that affects their ability as a country to grow. It affects their ability for the future, and every country has precious resources, and it's not always the oil that comes out the ground, it's also what's on the ground. And people are becoming more and more aware of this, and it's very obvious. And that also is one of the things that prompts a company such as ours to make the investment, to come down and offer our services down here, because we realize that the culture is going to demand it.
Okay. Mr. Leo, thank you very much for the time you give us. I know that we will have another meetings, additional contact that you have to do now. But thank you for your time, and I don't know if you want to give some final words.
No, but I appreciate this opportunity. The only thing I will say is that Ampol does not take its commitments very lightly. The company is somewhat conservative. They're not very high risk takers. So the fact that we've made the business decision to come into Latin America and establish offices and seek the contracts that can support us and let us help the other companies, we are going to stand by that commitment, and we're going to put everything we can behind it to make sure that works. And of course, we're not going to bring 1,000 workers from the United States. We're going to hire local people here in Latin America. The country that we're having an operation in, that's the people we want, because I think that would be the best decision, because they have a pride in their country and they want to help their country, and doing environmental services always has a reward. Yes, we do it to make money, but we also feel good about doing it. So that's about our final word on that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes, gracias por contactarnos con nosotros con SOS Ambiente. Tenemos artículos regulares que siempre estamos presentando, noticias e información. Continuaremos con este canal para darles más información más adelante. Muchas gracias.